Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we have investment opportunity strategies. That's right. Whenever the stock market goes berserk, it's not just the stocks that you need to pay attention to. It's the bond market. It's the oil markets. It's a bunch of different moving parts that you can exploit as an ordinary citizen. OCs, reunite and welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's watching. You never know who's paying attention. You never I was in the studio or not. I'm pretty sure you guys could hear me, but I don't know if you guys could see me. So once again, welcome everybody to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. I have to go see who's in the chat room because once again, we're doing a lot of different things in one where we don't have what we need, but does not matter. First things first, there's going to be a lot of auctions. So pay attention to auctions. land auctions, property auctions. There's a bunch of that's going to be going on. And I don't mean pre-foreclosures. I mean actual auctions, because not everybody goes through pre-foreclosure or foreclosure to buy bank owned or taxes. Sometimes there's legitimate companies. There's one like Trazon, Trazon, right? I get messages from them still. You could have commercial spaces. It could be residential. And a lot are going to be dumping their property because they're going to need some cash. And generally, it's going to be cheaper. This is one of the things that people pass over. All right, let's see what we got. We have Mr. Worldwide in the house. Post retirement travel is here. Have you guys went to his Instagram channel? Have you guys went to his YouTube channel? Have you seen some of those pictures and video? You got to go check it out. Show some love. He's our own post retirement travel, and welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. It's a salsa dance on the stock market. I know he's sitting there doing it. I know he's sitting there with a big smile on his face. I know he couldn't wait till pre-market to go buy at the low prices, almost at rock bottom 52-week lows on many of the top dogs in the industry, blue chip stocks and their derivatives. Did you take advantage over the last 3 days? Because it's another down day. So let's see what you have to say out here, because I know others are having the salsa dance. Because did you look at your dividends on Friday? Some had reinvestments on Friday, others had reinvestments today. Either way, you should be doing the salsa dance. And in another 4 or 5 days, some more dividends are coming. And could you buy these dividend stocks where you can get 17, 18, 19, 20%? Yes, I'm calling out the PSECs. I'm calling out the ORCs. That's right. You want 15% or more? Those are the ones you need to check out and do your own due diligence. Can you believe that? All right. Post-retirement travel says, yes, we can see and hear you. Thank you so much. EV Place is in the house. Welcome. Another investor is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings a simple tagline this evening. Good evening. Good evening to you. And also, Post-Retirement Travel says, I can smell it. You're damn right. The stock market is going to vertical anytime. Buying blue chip stocks daily. Time to get wealthy. COVID deja vu. This is exactly what it is. It's the exact same thing to me, too. That's the way I look at this. This is another opportunity to be down 20, 30% or more, and a simple 10% movement, ladies and gentlemen. If your dollar cost average is down and it goes up 10%, again, I have to give this for illustration purposes. A lot of people don't think properly. I'm going to give you an example. This is almost like NVIDIA right now. Let's just say NVIDIA just about a week or two ago was around 118, 115, right? So imagine it dropped down to 86. That's the lowest I saw. It was probably lower than that, $86.06. So now, imagine you buying at 115, seeing it drop to 110, seeing it drop to 105, seeing it drop to 95, seeing it drop to 88, and you're just sitting there doing nothing. Your dollar cost average is at 115. It dropped to 86, and you still did nothing. Imagine now, today, it goes back to 95, 97. Well, guess what? If you're at 115, you got a long way to go just to break even. But imagine when it was going down, you decided to buy more shares of stock, and you happen to have your dollar cost average around $89 or $90 now. And now imagine if the price, like it has done, is up to around 95 or 96. Guess what? Because your dollar cost average is at 90, you now have a positive because the stock price is now at 95. So you don't need it to go back up another 30%. All you needed was it to go back up 10% and you're back positive. And that's what happened today. So you had every opportunity over the last 3-4 days to get your dollar cost average well under 100, but that meant you would have had to buy more shares. This is what investors do. This is what the wealth builders do. This is what you should be doing. You have to take advantage of these huge swings like this. You can't let them go by. Whew, that was a long one. All right, let's go see Jawway J's in the house. Another investor is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And like post-retirement, I'm sure Jawway J can smell what the SSN Nation is cooking. And he says, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you are as well. Receive notification and he smashed that like button. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciated, Jawway J. Nice to see you. Say hello to the wife and the familiar, man. Much appreciated for you being in the house. EV Place, he's saying it. I was shopping today. You're damn right. I've got me some nice MST. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. MSTY dropped to, what was it, 1930, 1920 something? I saw that too, EV Place. I said, give me some more of this because my dollar cost average is in the 19s. And I was sitting there in shock, like, are you kidding me? It's below my dollar cost average. Time to get some. I don't even care if it was 10 cents or 15 or 20 cents, whatever it was. I was like, it's in the same ballpark. So if they give me the same dividends that they've been given, then we are lovely, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about 30, 40, 50, 60. It was crazy. Here we go. EV Place says 1875. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. How could you just let that slide by? And in fact, here we go again. MSTY just about a week and a half ago was around $25 or $27 per share. Were you sitting on the sidelines watching the parade go by? EV Place wasn't. He said, I'm in the parade making things happen. So he's out there buying 1875, getting a dollar cost average down. So imagine having your dollar cost average close to 19 right now. And then it went up to 20 something. We don't really care if it stays around 20 something. What we care about is if somebody's going to give you damn near 100% distribution over the next year, I think you're going to be happy. You just want the price to stay the same so you don't lose any equity on your stocks. So you will take, if you invested at $500, you will take $500 in 1 year, wouldn't you? Of course you would. But if you reinvest it, well, then you're going to be buying more shares if you're doing dividend investments. So you'll end up next year with more shares, which means more dividend money, which means that's what we want. Don't lose the equity and getting money in your pocket, just like you're a wealthy millionaire. That's what we want, ladies and gentlemen. EV Place, thank you so much for announcing the 1875. I didn't see that. I saw 19 something, 25, 1910. It was low in the 19s. I was like, let's go back. That's right, on top of it. In case you don't know what MSTY is, ladies and gentlemen, that is MicroStrategy. MSTR is MicroStrategy, which on average has gained about 25% annually because they buy a lot of Bitcoin. MSTY is option income money. So when stocks are volatile, go up and down, people will buy options. There's premiums, there's fees to be paid, and that's what YieldMax ETF does. And that's how they pay dividends. So the dividends can range. And I'm expecting dividends to be about $2 per share this week, this month. So we'll see how that turns out because it's been so volatile, right? So that's what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about investment strategy opportunities today. It's not just about the stocks, but like we say, Brian P., Mr. Dividend is in the house. It's about the stocks. When you have thousands of shares and you get 40, 50, 60, $1 per week, that's thousands of dollars per week, ladies and gentlemen. That's why his name is Mr. Dividend. Brian P. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline today. Happy day, Eric. Thank you. Happy day to you. I hope all is well with you. Yes, it's going well. Happy day, SSN family. Thank you so much for that. Post-retirement travel says, I rebalanced my Robinhood portfolio today. Got rid of the losers over the last 6 months and redirected that money into growth stock. The stock market will pop anytime. I don't want to be a part of that ride. In fact, again, I don't even care about the stock market rebounding right now. I want as many OCs. I want you guys out there to win too. Rising tides lifts all boats. I want these things to stay as low as possible. Today had a little rise, but it's still well below what it was just a week ago. So you can't miss out on these opportunities. And because somebody else is probably going to do a reciprocal tariff announcement sometime this week, you have an opportunity to still buy at low prices or get your dollar cost average down. I mean, everything's on sale. What you want to do, everything. If you want real estate investment trust, well, hello to 15 to 25%. High risk, high rewards. If you want to do JEPQ and get 10 to 13%, you have to buy right now. Well, okay, it's no longer, I think it went out of the 40s. So I think it's back into the 50s now. But you had, even today, it was in the 40s. 46, 40, yeah, it was 46. Yeah, it was 46 something. So yes, I had to buy some more because my dollar cost average is high. I said, thank you very much. Because if I'm in the 40s and they give $5.50 or $6.25, that means anywhere from 11 to 13 to almost 14% if you can get your dollar cost average in the 40s. That's what we're talking about. That's why I get excited. You have to understand, you don't have to be a trader. You don't have to know much about stocks, but you do know if you're messing with dividends, you need to have a price point. You want to buy at a lower price if it's available to you, because that means your yield is going to be higher on especially a stable company like JP Morgan ETF JEPQ. That's like heaven sent. Also, Michael Anthony, he talked about PFE, which is Pfizer. Pfizer is a pharmaceutical company. Their stock price is way down. Their dividend is only 7.65 or 7.85, whatever it was, even though it's not the double digits that I often like. What I do like are pharmaceutical companies that give out dividends at 7 to 8%, because that means it's for life. You never know if 7 or 8% is even going to be good. So if you can mix things like 8% here, 10% here, 13% here, 15% here with some growth stocks to boot, imagine being able to do something like 12 to 15% returns in your pocket, not by growth stock that gives no dividends, in your pocket every year. Imagine you can set that up right now. I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, F around, be legendary. This is the time that you're supposed to make a big, big upward mobility trend. All right, here we go. Be prepared Friday dividend from MSTY. Oh, that's going to be nice. I'm anticipating a very, very good one, because since they trade on Bitcoin for the options, Bitcoin's been going down. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were trading and then it jumped back up, then it goes back down. It was in the like 70 something thousands today. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome when Friday comes. I'm anticipating, who knows, it could be $1.10, but I think it's going to be well more than that because of all the yo-yo that's been happening, and people have been going out of stocks, into stocks, out of stocks, going to buy gold, out of stocks, and not out of gold and silver, then going to buy crypto. So I think there's a whole mix that's been happening. So you could have positioned yourself very, very well. And ULTY, yes, I saw it under 6. Yes, I picked up some of that too, Brian P. We'll take that 35 or 45 cents or 55 cents, whatever ULTY decides, or 10 cents. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this pays every week. If you can get 40 or 50 cents per month, you do understand. That's 100% return. That would be crazy if they could do 30, 40, 50% every month for a year. That would be insane. And you can buy this at this stock price. All it has to do is maintain this, which may be difficult. But I'm just saying, if you can, even if it went down to 5 or 4 and you still had that same type of return, you would take it, right? Especially if you have enough shares. So that's, again, I picked up some Jeppy today. Yeah, Jeppy, I don't even understand how Jeppy is where it's at, which is around 8% or was. It probably went back up a little bit today. It still hovered in the 50s, even though it's almost a blend of JEPQ. It's weird that it did not drop into like the $46, $47 range, which was kind of strange. But nonetheless, I can't argue with anybody. If you want to lock in 8%, 8.5%, that is good too. There's no reason to lock in bond prices or CD prices. There's no reason to lock in 3, 4%. That makes no sense to me. But once you start doing 7, 8, 9, somewhere like that, that's okay, respectable. And it's stable. So you know your share price is going to stay about that. So you know you'll get your 7%, 8%. So there's nothing to be mad about. I'll take 7 or 8% in this era because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. And you need stuff, some of your stocks need to be stable. So I like that move, Brian P. Very good choice. Joe Nay, another investor, another worldwide participant in the investment strategies. And he says his tagline, and welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Good evening, everybody. Good evening to you. How's everybody this money making evening? I'm doing good. But Joe Nay, I forgot. He says it right here. I just smashed the like button. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Give it a 1 piece so everybody knows we're in the house. And by the way, speaking of investment opportunities, SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, May 13th, 14th, and 15th. That's right. You want to come over and find and deal with no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry to get your piece of pre-construction properties, then you should come over and join us. Get the lay of the land. The reason why it's Punta Cana is because roughly 60% of all air traffic that comes to the Dominican Republic lands at Punta Cana Airport. Now, I'll get into some other strategies. I'll probably make a video because I got a lot to say. Because here's what starts happening. If we have less travelers, which is what happened in the month of February, and we're going to find out what happened in the month of March here shortly because it's already day 7, and we'll see if the tourism industry releases anything. I doubt, because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be another record from last year again, but we'll see. So here's what I'm going to caution everybody on, because it's a cautionary tale. The reason why you want it to always be where 60% of the travelers come is Punta Cana Airport. What happens when what happened in the month of February happened? When you had 20% less passengers from the United States and like 25% less from Canada or something of that nature, what happens to the other locations that only had 10% or 3% of tourists? So if you have something like 100, which is 167,000 less people that came, and now all the other places, instead of getting their normal numbers, they are 10% less. That is very, very bad. So that's why, number one, I told you guys why I would stay in high tourist number locations as far as investments go, even if they're growing and expanding, because they're building it for a lot of people. So therefore, that's the hot spot. So that'll have the most tourist numbers, period. out of every city. So even if it's smaller, like 588,000, you're still going to have more passengers landing at the Punta Cana airport. Just saying. All right, just keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Joe Nate, for smashing that like button. Everybody else who joins us, hit that like button, give it a one piece. All right, Brian B from Post Retirement Travel. Good for you. I really like Jeffy because it holds NAV pretty well. Good, exactly. I have it on a daily recurring investment. Right. In fact, Jeffy and JEPQ are almost the same. It's kind of weird that JEPQ drops so much and gives almost the same dividend. But see, there's a difference. If you pay $52 a share and you have your dollar cost average at 48 and you have the same, almost same dividend, then you have a higher yield with JEPQ. But it's weird because I looked at, you look in their funds, they pretty much have the same allocations. They have a different percentage based on technology and some other thing, but it's still almost identical, but there are small changes. So yes, we gotta love, like I said, nothing wrong with Jeffy at 8% or 7.6 or 7.7. Nothing wrong with that. But you gotta buy when it's down to move your dollar cost average up and the yield. Eric from EV Place, I've confirmed an Avalon Beach Club for Macau Hills owners are guests. 600 meters from Macau Beach. It's in the contract. Yeah, EV Place, you're correct. We know when you're at Macau, you when you come into Macau, and it's hard to describe, but you're going down the street and then you see on the left hand on the right hand side used to be field. On the left hand side was like these little homes and little snacky bar things. Right there is about where the Avalon Beach Club is going to be. Yes, 600 meters. I'm glad you said that because a lot of people were saying it's right by the beach when in fact 600 meters is a hell of a long difference in distance from 600 feet. All right. 600 meters is 660 yards, 6 football fields and a half from the actual beach, which does not matter. It's still walking distance, but you're not going to be there in 3 minutes. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's still walking distance, and it's an Avalon Beach Club. Now, I don't know what Avalon Beach Club means because, again, here's what I didn't even want to get into real estate, but this is what bugs me. There's places that are building their own condo, right? And then they tell people we have a beach club. So I hate to be picking on Cana Bay all the time, but now I'm going to pick on Boardwalk in El Cordacito. All right. Now, here's the thing that's funny. In all of Dominican Republic, there are actually beach clubs everywhere. So what I mean by that, I can walk to the beach for free. The beach club has a bar and food, which if I decide to get a drink or eat some food, I'm at the beach sitting there chilling. I have to order stuff. Here's the problem I have. At Cana Bay and Boardwalk, they're going to make people pay a membership fee for the beach club. I'm like, why? That doesn't even make sense. I can go to any beach club and I don't have to pay. If I want to go to Pearl Beach Club, that's specialized. I got to pay, but why? I can go to Lima Beach Club, which used to be 365 Beach Club, don't have to pay nothing. I can go to the Zabella Beach Club in Los Corrales. I don't have to pay nothing. I can walk down the beach, go to Soulless Beach Bar, music, drinks, food, don't have to pay nothing. So I'm like, I don't get it. Why am I going to go pay for a beach club when I can walk all down sands all over the place and go to beach club? Makes zero sense to me. Why am I going to pay a fee? And just drives me crazy with this type of marketing nonsense. I'm just like, why am I going to give you money when I don't have to? Anywhere on the island, they got beach clubs all over every beach. But anyhow, nonetheless, some people feel like they got to pay for beach clubs. I don't get it. So hopefully Avalon does not make you have to pay some money to go to their beach club. It makes no sense to me. 0 cents, quite frankly. Brian P, once again, hey, Eric, did you see this. Peter Schiff says Nike won't build factories in the U.S. Of course they won't. They will sell to countries like China. Exactly. A much better strategy amid Trump tariff. Yes, Brian P., this is what I've been trying to say. This is what I was saying. This is ludicrous. All this does is, okay, in the case of U.S. companies that are already outside the United States, this is the reason why our strategy, opportunity investment strategy, is for you to have a company outside the United States. I don't know how. I have to, well, I write online and I tell people stuff, right? And I'm telling them, I said, they're going, we're going to have factory, they're going to come back in the U.S. I said, okay, look, here's how it actually works. Dominican Republic, since we're talking about, is the same similar thing. United States decides to charge China another 10% on top of some other percent as a tariff, right? So China, I don't even know if they're paying 20 or 30 or 40% tariffs. I don't even know. But they're not paying anything. The United States citizens, when products are imported to the US, is paying the 30, 40, 50% more for the products coming out of China. China's not paying for jack crap. But the point I'm trying to make is, I'm over in DR. I go to Opine Furniture. I get to have specially made furniture from them. Guess who makes it? China. And guess what? They don't have the tariffs with China that the United States has. So I can have custom made furniture for a 1-bedroom apartment for like freaking 10 G's. My own color, my own dining room table, whatever stone I want to put on top, whatever inserts I want for my TV shelves. If I want to do this lighting, my bedroom can have a desk inside with some lighting and a bed and special closet inserts. 10 G's. Chairs for my dining room table, sofa, all this. 10 G's. So now, why do I care what America wants to? Okay, they want to stop having low price goods in America, fine. But every other country doesn't do this dumbass stuff. They say, we'll deal with you on a net positive 1%, 2%, if any tariff. That's the difference. The rest of the world can sell to the rest of the world at lower prices. That's the thing that people forget. So that's why when you have a company outside the United States, when you do business outside the United States, just like a Nike, just like a Huawei, who does not have the market on mobile phones inside of America because of security concerns, it's because Apple and Samsung are able to sell phones for $1,500, $2,000. If Huawei came here and people were like, oh, I can buy the same phone with better stuff for $600, $700, do you think you're going to be buying Apples and Samsung phones for $1,500 to $2,000? I mean, seriously, this is ludicrous. Your own government is jacking you, and you're sitting here with a smile on your face, but that's a whole nother story. This isn't what it's about. But all I'm saying is I just get tired of this talk. And of course, factories won't come here because do you know how much it costs to get factories built? Are you serious? And here's the other thing. Let's say you get factories built. Okay, great. How much are you going to pay the American people? You expect somebody to show up and work for $15 an hour, which is not a livable wage anywhere on the planet, hardly. And it damn sure is not going to work in America. So you think people are going to show up. So Nike knows this. So if Nike's going to do a factory, they're going to get a factory, and you know what else they're going to get? Robots. Robotic arms, as much automation that they can get so they can have work's being done 24 hours a day, damn near, and employ a few people to do some of the hands-on stuff, and they're going to get the migrants who they're going to pay $15 an hour. Are you serious right now? Like that's going to work? Are you serious? So yeah, nobody's coming here. Just like the reports about these car manufacturers are going to come back to the United States and build car manufacturing plants. Who in their right mind believes they're going to build manufacturing plants in when? 3 years from now, 5 years from now? And then you have parts on the vehicles coming from Canada, Mexico, Singapore, Vietnam, whatever the hell else place. And now that's tariffed at 10, 20, 30%. So that's not going to reduce your costs. And now you spent billions to build a plant. Oh yeah, that makes perfectly good sense to a person that goes bankrupt all the damn time and borrows money and doesn't pay it back. Sure, that works. Never. All right, come on. This is why this talk about tariffs and like it's a good thing, it's not a good thing. The rest of the world is just sitting there going, blah, de, da, okay, you can do whatever tariffs you want. And then we'll do reciprocals. But guess what? Your United States is doing tariffs against the whole world. The other countries are like, we'll just buy from you. We don't need to buy from America no more. We'll spend our billions down in South America. We'll spend our billions over in Mexico. We'll spend our billions with our EU partners. We don't need to. We were just doing it because America has the best payment systems because you can wire money on the SWIFT and everything was all locked in pretty easy. The shipping lanes, supply lines, and lanes are all easy. It's all set up. So it was easy. But now you said, we don't want to do business with you no more. And so this is why China says we're not going to do the Panama Canal deal because we know what you guys are going to do. What you're going to do, United States, the only reason you want it is so that you can do tariffs of whatever you want for everything that comes through. Because that's a necessary area that people have to go through from east to west or vice versa. So I wouldn't, let's put it this way. If I'm in an economic war with you, why am I going to give you the keys to one of the only places, which is the only place, where I can go from Florida to China with the cut through the Panama Canal? Why would I give the USA keys after they're doing tariffs on everybody? Are you serious right now? What kind of, I mean, come on, man. This is craziness to me. I mean, this is like kindergarten stuff. Who in their right mind would think that somebody's going to give them the keys after they're doing 20, 30, 40% tariffs on people, threatening 100% tariffs? You can only imagine what's going to happen if the United States had the keys to the Panama Canal and they started telling people, well, yeah, you used to pay $1,500 to come through, but now it's $10,000. Like a third world country stuff, you know? I went, man, come on, this is crazy. So this is no surprise. We were talking about this already. I've been telling you guys for 2 years, this tariff stuff is just a joke. The rest of the world has cheap labor. America used to have cheap labor 400 years ago, 300 years ago, 200 years ago with slavery. They were China 3, 4, 200, 150, 125 years ago. So as America built into the Industrial Revolution, and they had factories, we had factories, so everything was coming here. We built stuff of quality. America was known for quality materials. China was this cheap garbage. Japan even had cheap garbage. So they smartened up and said, oh, we better build quality. So they built quality. At one time, Japan, anything coming from Japan was quality. And America, so they had to compete. Then, of course, the Asian market of China, Thailand, Vietnam, all that stuff, and Mexico kicked in overdrive in the late 90s. And from that point on, it's game over, but it was always going to be game over. Because what people don't know is when Ford was making his cars in the early 1900s, a lot of people don't know that the rubber he was getting was from South America. He was already doing international and global trade. So when cars were built, the rubber was being bought there, and he actually had manufacturing outside of America because it was so cheap. So this has been going on forever. You go to wherever the cheapest manufacturing is. This is not rocket science. So this thing about we'll just do tariffs, I'm just like, do it. But you're just going to hurt American citizens. You're going to hurt American businesses because now the people outside of America, the other countries aren't going to buy from us. And guess what else? Our corporations won't be able to buy or sell to their citizens because they're going to create reciprocal tariffs. Just like what China. So this talk about, oh, they'll come to the table. I'm like, why? They don't have to. They have all the manufacturing. We're the ones that need product from them. They have the manufacturing facility. Makes no sense. All right, post-retirement travel, EV Place. How do you get to the beach club? Vehicle? Is it a public entrance? A golf cart to move back and forth will be ideal. We'll be looking at the beach club is right when you go to Macau Beach. It's right there. It's going to be allegedly on the left-hand side. And like he said, it's about 600 yards, 660 yards from Macau Beach on the main road when you're driving down to the beach. At least that's the images that I was sent a long time ago. And so, but the only question at the time, they still didn't say if it was free. They tried to go, oh yeah, it's free. But see, so far, nobody that has built a beach club is letting people go to their own beach club for free. That's what's hilarious. And as everybody, well, maybe everybody doesn't know, when you go down to Macau Beach, you guys already know there's stuff down there. There's places to sit down there. There's little restaurants. There's little knickknacks, little shops and stuff like that. So why do I care about a beach? Okay, first of all, I don't need to stop at the Avalon Beach Club. I mean, what am I going to do? Eat there? I mean, what? I'm going to eat there. It's not at the beach. Great. I'll stop there. I own there. It has a beach club. It has a restaurant. It has a bar. Well, guess what? When I get down to the beach in Macau, it has bar. It has a little eating places and all that. And I don't have to pay a membership fee. So again, if they're on that membership fee thing, you can forget about it. That to me, that's not an advantage as far as I'm concerned. Why should I own at a place like Macau Hills and then somebody's going to tell me, oh yeah, it's $1,000 and then you got to pay something monthly or whatever? I'm like, why? I can go down to any beach there. If I'm in Cap Cana, I go to the beach. I go to Juan Hill Beach. There's a little restaurant right there on the beach. Drinks right there. I don't have to pay them anything. As long as I'm in Cap Cana, I just roll to the beach, go eat right on the beach. No big deal. All right. Anyhow, yeah. No. They're supposed to have transportation, by the way. The Avalon guys. They said they're going to have transportation from like Macau. I guess it's Macau Hills, Macau Gardens, or whatever. It's going to come from there, and they. The only question I had was, can you go to the other Avalon Beach Club? That's what I want, because they have another one closer to Punta Cana. And they said no at the time, but we'll see. EV Place, post-retirement travel, transportations from Villa Zone to Beach Club Zone is promised as included. Yep, exactly. Avalon said that already, that they're going to have transportation. Again, at the time, because this came out a year ago, at the time, I was trying to get an idea of cost, if there was any cost. And, when they're selling something, they're just going, well, they're going to pick up because they were supposed to have a hotel at Macau Hills. Well, either way, they're going to have their pool area. So either way, they were saying they're going to be a pickup, like 3 pickup points. And one was going to be by the pool or that hotel that they decided to build. And so, yeah, it was cool. But the cost, was there any cost? We don't know. Because remember, the beach downtown Punta Cana was supposed to have no cost. And then as they started building the beach, all of a sudden, oh, it's going to be $3 per person to go to the beach club, which is Pearl Beach Club. Well, at the time, it was going to be Pearl Beach Club. I get to Pearl Beach Club, and then I find out, oh, they charge $30 or $35 for each person to get in. I was just like, again, why am I doing this? If I'm staying in Los Corrales, El Cordecito, there's plenty of beach clubs you can just roll up to. Why does this matter? And all beaches are free. So the beach club thing is just like, okay, if I'm going to get something to drink and eat, again, I don't get the concept. Now, if all of a sudden, all the beach clubs started going, I'm sorry, you got to have a membership here, sir. Or I'm sorry, you're going to have to give us $30 or $35 just to sit around here. Well, guess what's going to happen? They're probably going to lose business because people are going to be like, well, why am I going to sit around here? This is crazy. I'm going to be at the beach anyhow. So now you're going to charge me to be okay, I'll just stop at the place up here and get myself an eat, drink, then I'll go to the beach. Same thing. I'm like, this is crazy. So if they ever try to do that, then they'll just lose travel. That's all. That makes no sense. Golf cart with solar panels on the roof. Hey, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. All right. Closer to AV Place. Like a shuttle, that's great. That will be part of the HOA. Eventually, someone has to pay the dude driving. Yeah, it's going to be part of your HOAs as it should be. I don't, but the beach, the beach, it was supposed to be free, including your HOAs. Then they changed it to, I think it's $3.50 per passenger each way. So now this is a thing. And you're paying HOAs, which is funny as hell. So you're paying HOAs at the beach. Then they said $3.50 per person, which was supposed to be free. So now you have a family of four, and now they're telling people, oh, yeah, it's going to be $28 each way. Then when you get to the Pearl Beach Club, they're going to go, oh, yeah, that's $35 per person. So now you're already out $30, and the insult to injury, give us 120. I'm just like, this makes no sense. So you're out 150 just to go to a beach club that if you would have taken Uber down to any beach, you would be hanging out a beach club and being able to order drinks and everything. And you could have had your spent Uber $15, $30, let's say, round trip to be generous. And then you wouldn't have had to spend the $30 to $35 per person. You just went to the beach club and ordered your food. Done. This is why you have to be careful what you're offering. Okay, they upped their HOAs per square meters. Remember, their contracts used to say, I think it was $2, like everybody's, but everybody's gonna up their HOA fees. I don't even care if the contract says $2. Everybody's gonna be paying 3 or more. So that's no surprise. If you're gonna have a beach club, yeah, okay, $1 more, great. That works out. I like it. How close is Vista Avalon going to be to the Avalon Beach Club? No, you mean Macau Hills? Uh, it's not, it's on the other side of the freeway. So, it's probably 4 kilometers or something like that, maybe more. It's not close. The beach club is by Macau Beach. Macau Hills is nowhere near Macau Beach, quite frankly. Here we go, Joe Nate, urban part of Macau Hills are 15 minutes from Macau Beach. He's exactly right. Macau Hills actually is closer to Moon Palace than it is to Macau Beach. That's how funny that is. They use the name Macau because, it's going to bring cachet. And their villa is still $120, 120,000, 115,000 for small villas. Once again, I like the price. I don't know about the location ultimately. This is like a little experiment, but the prices before, when they came up with those 3 bedrooms for 99 grand or 105 grand, that puts you in a ballpark that nobody can match. And that was pretty cool. All right, here we go. Really? $3 per square meter? That has gone up a lot. In my case, it's 128 square meters, so that would be 384. Exactly. Oh, post-retirement travel, don't worry. Don't worry. You won't be $2 a square meter either. And the way they're doing people is they're going to charge people. Well, they can say whatever they want to say right now. On delivery is going to be a whole nother story, I anticipate. They're going to do, oh, yeah, okay, you're going to pay $2 per square meter for your inside, and we're going to charge you $1 per square meter for your patio balcony space outside. So now you're going to end up paying more than $2. It might be $2.50. Or they might do whatever they've done to everybody else. It's $3 per square meter. Period. Trust me, it's not going to be $2, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, you have to remember just what I told you guys, the tax reform matters. Investment opportunities mean you have to understand the landscape. So if they did the thing, the taxes for the citizens didn't go through, Abinader, being stubborn, said, okay, the tourism guys, you guys can keep getting your tax cuts and tax breaks. That means no revenue. So you know what that means. They go and borrow, what was it, 400 to 600 million from Japan. They borrowed something from the IMF. So you know what happens. Your peso to dollar increases. So when people go, oh, it's better. No, it's not better. If it was 59 pesos to 1 and now it's 62 or 63, that's almost 9 to 10% more. There's no difference. You're going to pay more. That's how it works. So that's why you can't just go by, oh, good, they're not going to tax the people there. Well, there's fallout from that. They have to borrow $1 trillion. With $1 trillion, you devalue your currency because you're borrowing, and you're borrowing at higher rates because you don't have infrastructure. You don't have your electricity grid proper. You don't have your infrastructure proper, which is what the IMF said for you, and you don't have your banking structure proper that meets 2020 standards. They're back in 1985, 1980. So those are the three requirements by the IMF and the United States for them to get lower interest rates. These guys are paying probably 7, 8, 9%. It's probably more like 6 because they charge people for their bank loans 9%, 8%, 10, 12, 13. So you know it's not 1% like if they were a U.S. partner. So that's why they have to borrow at these high interest rates. So when you have situations like what's happening right now, if they have another month where they lose 167,000 passengers from the previous year, that's catastrophic. And that also means their tourism industry, which controls 20% of their GDP. Imagine if it's not 20% GDP no more and it drops to 10% or 15%. That's catastrophic. And that's why they're doing the wrong thing. They're playing games with not getting rid. They should have gotten rid of conference rules. And everything that comes in, all that equipment, all that stuff that gets import duties and taxes, they should make them pay. They're the one, you know what's even worse? They should make them pay because guess who's paying the pre-construction stuff if it's open, and those condo hotels? The people outside of the Dominican Republic are the ones paying it. So why are you giving these guys incentives? So they can what, make millions of dollars? Meanwhile, your country has to borrow trillions to meet developing nation status. This is crazy stuff that's going on. This is so simple that they could do something, and they're sitting here miring themselves. You don't want to owe countries money, especially when you're a developing nation, because you don't have the luxury of the United States that can't pay interest. They can't pay the 1 trillion interest bill, right? United States get a pass. But if you weren't the United States and you're a country from South America, you're going to have to give up your gold. You're going to have to give up your assets to pay back stuff. And that's how the other countries get to maintain and keep you in a third world country environment. So this is very dangerous situations that they're doing, and they had a way out. They just don't want to have these guys paying for it. And now they put themselves behind the 8 ball, in my opinion. State Farm to try to make case for California emergency rate hike Tuesday here. Yeah, they're trying to be in double digits. That is correct. This is what all insurance companies are doing this in every state. And the states are going to allow it. Just letting everybody know. They may not get their 28% request, but they'll get a freaking 14 or 17 or 12% request. They're going to get an increase. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Your insurance commission and all that, they're not looking out for you either. So this is why your investment income strategies, you need to understand nobody's coming to save you. Well, we're out here trying to save people, ladies and gentlemen. Come on now. Come on. We want you to win. All eyes will be on California Department of Insurance on Tuesday morning for its hearing State Farm's emergency request for a 22% rate hike. Yeah, I know. And I know it's going to be in the 20s, but it's probably going to end up being 14, 15%. And I'm just going to tell you 14 or 15% is hefty. If you're already paying $4,000 per month, and next thing you know, they go, oh, yeah, we'll let you do 15%. That's $600 more. Now you're paying $4,600 per month or annually. And if it's worse than that, if you have one of those 7,000 annually, now all of a sudden you're paying 8,000, just like that. So let me know, you guys, what you think that State Farm is going to actually get. They're not going to get 22. They're not going to get 20. But my guess, 14 to 16%, somewhere in that neighborhood, they're going to get. Yeah, it's not going to be a 0. They're not gonna say, okay, we're just gonna roll you back to what you did. It's gonna be this right here. Why is there emergency rate hike requests all over the country in every state? Because they don't want to take high risk individuals. They're getting rid of their liability customers. So now there's less customers. So now they have to raise the price on the not so risky customers. Is that fair? No. Are they going to get away with it? Yes. They bribed our congressmen and government already. Do you know you live in a third world country yet? Come on, man. This is how it works. You better start saving yourself. So that means stocks. That means land ownership as well. When the stocks go down, start looking. Trazon, Tarzon. Go over there and start with that first. Why do I like Trazon? Is because they have so many different vehicles that you can invest in. Whether it's, like I said, commercial, whether it's just residential, whether it's farmland, they got a lot of different stuff. That's not major to me because their prices are still kind of pricey. All right. But, you just go to land.com. Well, it's not land.com. Let me think what it is. I can't remember what it's called. Computer's not up. Oh, here we go. Go to, I'm trying to think of, my mind is going blank. Discountlots.com. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Right? What's it called? Great Land? It's not great. Not great. I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name. It'll come back to me. But no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. You can find something, ladies and gentlemen, and it's going to be depressed. Whenever there's a problem in the stock market, whenever there's a problem with real estate, you go get land cheap. And it's vice versa. When home prices go up, then land prices go up. All right. I'll give you an example. There was property I bought at land auction for $3,500, $3,000, because it was in a boom cycle. The guy next door, when he found out that my lot that I bought, I found out he built on my lot by about 2-3 feet. So he forgot the easement, all of it. So I went over to him and he says, Eric, I'll give you like 25,000. I was like, well, I'll think about it. So I came back to him and I said something like, oh, well, I'll take 38. So we settled on around 34, 35, 33, whatever it was, somewhere in there. How could I be greedy when I bought it for like $3,000? So I was like, sitting there like I didn't have to do anything, did nothing. And it was zoned, which was so cool. That's the reason why I almost held on to it, is because it was zoned for, I could have put residential there or commercial. And it was right across the street from one of those, it's not I don't want to call it an RV, but it's kind of like an RV cabin park that's on the beach. So I had visions of, I'll do business. But then the lake area started changing because they started getting greedy. They started doing the same thing. They said, okay, we're gonna bring in Walmart over here, Super Walmart, which was great. But they did the same thing that the DR did. In the Clear Lake area, the city of Clear Lake, there was lots there. The lots you could buy for $1,000. Why? Because they didn't want to do infrastructure, and the Clear Lake city had an infrastructure where they had, I don't even know, probably 3-4 miles. And they had like these old shacks and stuff like that. But because they never wanted to pay the money to do the infrastructure, it still stayed that way. So now when they were building up the area, you know what happened. They're building up the area across the lake, Clear Lake Riviera, Clear Lake West, Clear Lake East, doing all this, building nice homes, Brentwood, all this stuff. But on the other side of the lake, where that would be the development, the developers were just like, this is going to cost way too much money to develop. So what happens? That doesn't get developed. Next thing you know, the Konocti Harbor beach club, resort casino, which had concerts and thousands of people there every weekend in the summer and spring. All of a sudden, there was nowhere for people to stay. And now all of a sudden, they said, well, we're not going to host any events. In fact, it goes from not hosting events to doing 5 events a year, then goes to we're shutting down. So now that goes out. And guess what happens to Clear Lake after that? Everything else goes out. They start bringing in Dollar Tree and all these little low-end stores, and people are complaining. We had golf course in our spot, clubhouse, Lakeview, pool, Olympic size, our own boat launch area with a restaurant. Well, the value of property started going down because these guys didn't want to do infrastructure. And our HOA, I told you guys the story before, the what was it? Clear Lake had a 30-foot high center line. So if you guys don't know what that means, I'll give you a center line situation. Center line basically is in the middle of your lot, from the middle of the street. Whether your lot goes up or down, you can only go 30 feet high for the city and county, right? Our HOA says, we don't care about that. You can only go 27, I think it was 27 feet high, below what the city and county allows. So when I'm building my house, I had to try and get a variance for an extra 2 feet because I was 29 feet high on my center line. For a house that was going to make the neighborhood one of the best in the neighborhood. And people are going to be like, oh my God. The HOA held up this deal, even though the city and county signed off. A bunch of BS. And next thing you know, right below where we used to have a golf course and all this stuff, Dollar Tree. And that's when people go to a HOA meeting and go, what's going on? Now Dollar Tree's here. This isn't good for our neighborhood. And I go, because the HOA, these guys right here, these 3 assholes are messing with people trying to build nice homes right here. So the value of homes are going down because they're not letting us build actual new cool ass homes. They want them stupid ass shacks that's been there for 20, 40 years. And now they get what they got. So then they start losing money. They sell half of the golf course. Now we don't have the 18-hole, nice looking out at the golf course, looking out at the lake golf course. Now all of a sudden it's 9 holes. They let people build on the old golf course, decreasing value even more. I'm just like, are you guys losing your mind out here? Clearly you're losing your mind. So all this BS stuff they were doing turns it into what once was the most prolific recreational area into nothing. Dust. Literally. It's sickening to watch. And this is what DR is doing. Same thing. Post-retirement travel. This fee should be in your contract. Yeah, he has a fee in his contract. He knows there's, what is it, $1,000 membership fee. And then I think owners get in free. But if you're a guest and rent from an owner, the guests have to pay $30 or $35 per person to go to the beach club and go to the beach, by the way, which is crazy. I thought they changed that, which I'm shocked that they haven't. JP Morgan says Federal Reserve might cut rates sizably before the next. Oh, yeah, okay. Brian P., I'm not buying it. Here's possible impact on Bitcoin's price. I'm not buying it. The reason why I'm telling you guys right now, you're doing this crazy tariff wars. The Fed, there's no way they can tell what's going to happen. Are they really going to reduce interest rates to put fire on top of what the United States companies are going to have to charge United States citizens to buy products from outside the United States? And so now you don't know what's going to happen. You're going to do some if they did that right now, That'd be like the silliest thing. Again, I'm going for 3 months, 4 months from now will be the first rate cut. They're saying this so the stock market doesn't melt down. So you'll start hearing these guys say stuff like this. Oh, the Fed's going to do rate cuts. No, they're not. That would be Jerome Powell is not, him and his guys are not stupid. If they do that, it's a full-blown meltdown. In fact, if they do this, I'm just going to sit here and be like, where's my VIX? I'm just going to keep doing VIX the whole time. I'm going to short the market straight up, because all you're doing is pouring gasoline on a fire. That's all you're doing. So now what are you going to do? You're going to give these guys 2%, 3% interest only loans for 15 years so they can go out here and buy what? The rest of the citizens can't buy nothing. The price of everything's going up. 80% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. So what are you going to do? Make 85% of the people live paycheck to paycheck? Instead of 3 years from now, it'll be this year? Good luck. Good luck, American citizens. You better have your ducks in a row, because this is going to be very, very bad. All right, EV Place, Eric, 102K for 72 bedrooms on 300 square, but HOA is only on house size 210 in my case. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Are you talking about Macau Hills? Macau Hills wasn't 102 for a 2-bedroom back in the day. They used to be, that was only 80, what was it, 75,000, 82,000, something like that. And the 3-bedroom was 102, 105, something like that at the time. That was like a year and a half back. So yeah, prices, but that's still a great price though, right? A 2-bedroom, you can charge $100 per night, I would imagine, especially when you start talking about the beach club. Now, EV Place, what you need to find out is from Avalon, can my guests who stay with me go to use the beach club without paying? That's the $1 million question. But then again, if I'm staying at your place, I don't really care about the Avalon Beach Club, because when I go to Macau Beach, I can go eat and be at the beach. I don't have to be 600 feet, 600 yards back. So I don't know if there's going to be any real value other than just the cachet that we have a beach club. You know, I don't get it, but hey, that's for everybody else. Look, let me ask you, I'll just ask you guys something. When you go to Hawaii and you're on Waikiki Beach, what do? You walk down the beach, you see a restaurant, you see a hotel, you sit out on their veranda, sit there by the beach, get some drinks. Or you go get you sit in a lounger, dudes come by, hey, can I get a drink? I don't have to pay anything, right? I'm in Aruba. I sit at the beach. I don't pay anything. I'm in Cabo. I go and sit I'm sitting at the beach. I go eat at the beach, at a restaurant, on the beach club. This is no thing. This is crazy for me. I mean, they're trying to do marketing that doesn't even exist. It's crazy to me. Crazy stuff. All right. Is there any competition for State Farm insurance in California? Yes, there is. Is Progressive there? Yes. Geico's here, Progressive, everybody's here, man. Rate increase is absolutely insane. Agree, Eric. 15% is also a shock. Yeah, it's going to be somewhere between 14 and 16. I am pretty sure. Yeah, California, we have, there's like 10 companies. I mean, there's competition, but they're not interested in competition. You guys, it's over with this competition capitalism stuff. Forget that. It doesn't exist. These guys are fixing the marketplace. They're saying we're not going to take high risk insurance customers. We're only going to take the best customers where we don't have to make payouts. That means there's going to be less customers. So that means they have to charge the less customers more, as if they had those low risk customers. That's what they have to do. That's what they're going to do. And remember, the average price of homes in California is $1 million. So the average price of a home is $1 million. But what's the price to build that custom $1 million home? It's more than $1 million. That's where the problem comes in, because we have inflation. See, this is why all this stuff matters, and we're going to have a problem. You cannot keep doing this. And now people are going to lose homes. You want to know something? We have the granddaughter trying to sell a house in the foothills. All right. Guess how much their insurance is because they're in the foothills. People want to come buy their house, right? It's nominal, 33, 350, 375. So people are interested. They're like, oh, that's a good price. Until they call the insurance company, and the insurance company says $15,000 a year. People are like, what? Then they start calling around. And next thing you know, another company says 20. Another company said 18. The people were like, oh, damn. So you mean to tell me I'm going to spend a 6% interest rate on 300. I'm going to pay like $2,500 a month, $2,700 a month, including the taxes, because they're generally 1.2% of your purchase price. So that's like 4Gs on top. So you're going to pay $400 a month. So you're going to be around 24, 25. Then you're going to tell me I am going to have to spend another $1,200. So now I'm going to be at $3,700 to $4,000 per month this year, knowing full well they're going to raise it next year. People are saying, hell no, I'm not taking this risk, because they're going to tell us next year or the year after 20 grand. Or we're not going to cover you. And you're in the foothills where there could be, mudslides, I guess, could happen, fires could happen. You're in high risk area. Well, not really high risk, but now they're considering anything that's in the mountains and foothills high risk, right? Because of all the fire. So if you have to pay $15,000 a year right now, what do you think is going to happen in a couple of years? They're going to go to the commission's office and say, hey, I need to raise my rate 15%. Now all of a sudden you're paying $18,000 a year. Come on. This is why people have a problem. This is why they have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they can't sell their house for over a year, because of this. When they go call the insurance guys to find out how much their insurance is going to be, everybody says, I'm out. I'm not buying this place. You lost your mind right now? Yes, I'm familiar with these early prices for Macao Hills. Yes, I was promised Beach Club, which will be free for guests and owners. It's just for marketing. We all know it. EV Place, well, see, this is the problem. What you're saying is what the beach said when they came out. And then now that they had deliveries, now there is no shuttle. The Beach Club is still Pearl Beach Club, so anybody can go there. And they still, when they have the shuttle, they send out a message saying people have to pay $3.50 per person, and you got to pay to enter the beach club. Not free at all. No, Naval has a beach club now at Los Corrales, right? Right next to what's that place called? I want to say Squid, but it's not Squid. Well, it doesn't really matter. I don't know if that's free or not. But I'll tell you what, there's a beach club right next door that is. I'm like, this is crazy. It better be free. But yeah, that's the thing, EV Place. They can say whatever they want to say, but actually, I learned one thing in the DR over the last 5 years, that whatever they say in writing, do not think that it's gonna be that. All right, 15% rate, exactly. That's what I think it's gonna be. Damn. I'm lucky paying 2.5K a year for insurance for my house in Massachusetts. Yes, exactly, man. Exactly. Yeah. Well, hey, this is happening in Florida. It's happening in Georgia. It's happening everywhere. The insurance companies are jacking people. It's that simple. All right. Investment strategies, ladies and gentlemen. No credit check, no qualifying. You come to SSN Lifestyle Punta Investors Forum. Go check out information at ssnlifestyle.com, or you can go to stopstrugglingnow.com. Register now today. $199 for tickets. Stay in Los Corrales, El Portecito area 3 days. That will be there. All right, register now. Also, Beachfront Job, our own Professor Auntie Val and family. Go get their coffee and tea. It's premium blend. Use the promo code SSN Lifestyle, all one word, all caps. You have free shipping and fine ground, drip ground, puree, and whole beef. Half-pound bag to 5-pound bags. So make sure you order today and show some love at beachfrontjava.com. All right? Just keep that in mind. Now, let's get back to the business at hand, investment opportunity, because we know the stock. Now, what's going to happen with real estate? Anybody have a clue? Let's just get real. Everything the empire has that is of value is going to be on sale because you don't have enough people to buy. People do not have enough disposable income in a large majority of the population anymore. So therefore, only the investors will be able to pick up. But can investors pick up that much when they can't borrow money? When debt is going to be locked up? They're going to be capped. So now that means there's going to be opportunities out here in the real estate game. Again, over the next 2 years, you're going to have an opportunity, 1 year, 8 months. You're going to have to be ready. So you're going to need your credit right, 775 and up. And I'm going to put something here down below in the description box because I wasn't able to do it before this started. But you guys, I want you guys to make sure that your credit right. All right, that's what you're going to need. Smart credit. It's down below. I'll put it in for everybody that watches this on replay because I'm just now going to add it. All right, investment opportunity strategies. This is another one. You want to make sure your credit is 775 if you can get there. All right, that is a must. All right, you want your stocks. We got the Webull, we got Moomoo. In fact, that's right, I forgot. I got all of them now. Get your free stocks by downloading things. Can't do it. Do it. Okay, let's see if this works. I don't know if I have all three. But yeah, I have a Smart Credit and I have National Credit Direct is down below if you want to improve your credit score. And yes, I have the Moomoo, Robinhood, Webull. We have Wealthfront as well. Wealthfront, if you want to set it, don't have to worry about any fees. Anything from $500 to $4,900, they don't charge you any fees. That's Wealthfront. That's down below. That's just you give them your money, they manage. Simple as that. Over $5,000, then they do charge you a fee. So go there and check it out. All right. Here we go. I'm also waiting for that Chinese furniture company you mentioned for design and quote for my pinouts. Exactly. Hey, man, that's Joel. Opine Furniture, OPPEIN. Go in and see Joel. Tell him you're from SSN Nation. Eric sent you, man. All right? Tell him to give you that wholesale deal. That's what I'm talking. I always told him you got to give the SSN Nation members the wholesale deal, man. Tell them. So make sure you let Joel know. All right? He's the owner. He knows who we are. He knows me. All right? And the other thing is you should go to EV Place, go to their office in Punta Cana. Go look and see. Go through the book. They'll say, oh, just go online. Go to their office and go see what that bedroom set looks like with how they have it in there and all that stuff, man. It's slick as hell. So when somebody says they have a furniture package for you, it's going to be 20 grand, right? I'm sitting there like, wait a minute. It's a 2-bedroom place. So I can go see Joel and I can spend like 4 or 5 grand per bedroom and have everything. My own color scheme and everything. Are you serious right now? So my 2 bedrooms is 10 grand. Then I can get my own custom furniture, my own custom wall stuff and all this. Okay, I'm going to spend 20 grand. Well, probably not 15 grand. But all I'm saying is it's going to be custom made. I get to pick the colors. It's going to be delivered 90 days later, thereabouts from China. If I want my inserts to be red like theirs, then it'll be red. If I want it to be purple, it'll be purple. It'll fit my design, my wall, everything fits perfectly, custom made. And if somebody says custom made and it's under 20 grand, I'll take that all day, every day. In fact, I don't even think you can get to 20 grand, quite frankly, because I know how much the dining room table is and chairs. I know how much that badass sofa they have, even though it's not a sofa bed, but it's cool as hell. I know how much that costs too. You can't even probably get to 20 grand for a 2-bedroom. But if you do, then you're going to have some cool ass stuff, custom made, custom colors, your colors on everything, the fabrics, the materials, even your dining room table. You can have custom, uh, whatever stone you want, everything, man. It's cool as hell. And that's why I say upscale luxury when you do investments. All right, let me know what happening in the NCAA. U of F, you guys know that was my original school, U of F. So yeah, I'm part Gator. That's right, part Gator. I was there 2 years of mayhem, did not study, did not do nothing. Academic probation, I was having so much fun. 1.5, the letter 1.3. I don't even know what it was. I wish I had the letter, but it was 1 point, let's just say 5. And I got a letter saying, you're on academic probation. If you don't get your act together, then whatever. I mean, threats. What are you going to do? Well, you definitely can't play any sports around here. So I said, all right. So I played around for a year and a half. Then I actually said, all right, enough playing around, man. I got to get my degree and I got to act like I study. And now I had all this fun at 18 years old, going to school. Now it's time, 19 and up. We got to be the man. So party time was over. Then I said, let me go to Cali, small school, Sonoma State, that only had 5,000 students. Play a little hoops, get the business school handled, be in the Bay Area, tech areas, wine country areas, learn a lot, have fun. All right, Florida versus Houston. Are you saying Florida's behind? 42-48, Houston balling again. Florida's like the comeback kids, but can Houston, which they've been disrespected. They're number one rated too, and nobody picked them to actually make it through the gauntlet. So Houston is very, very dangerous and have something to prove. I wouldn't want to, this has got to be a good game. And I'm hoping that Clayton Jr. can bounce back, because traditionally what happens in college, you have a good game on Saturday and a breakout game, 30 some points, and then your next game is like it's hard. It's harder. It's hard to do like that same type of performance back to, it's not even back to back, it's a day rest, but it's still hard to do with all the activities and the press conferences and things like that. Joe Nay, you're damn right. I remember the Phi Slamma Jamma. You're damn right. Houston with the Keem Olajuwon, Drexler. That's right. Exactly. Who else did they had a few other people on the team as well. But yeah, Phi Slamma Jamma 2 years in a row gave us nothing but great things, and then they lost on the alley-oop from NC State. that was wild. They had these guys, but game shouldn't have even been that close. You want to lose on it. Everybody's looking, it's an air ball, it's over. No, it's not. Some dude grabs it and puts it in. It was crazy stuff. So that was their chance to get there. But it could be tonight. They're back. They had several opportunities in the past, but none for the last 30 years. So it's pretty cool to see them actually have it. And they are ranked number 1, too. So, hey, we'll see what happens. But good for them. But we got to have the Gators win, right? Last win for the Gators was what, early 2000s or in the 2000s, back to back, trying to go for a three-peat, didn't make it, but so what? Still pretty good. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. I gotta do a few things here, because we talked cryptocurrency even dropped today. So all you crypto lovers, investment strategy, you might have wanted to pick up some 74,000, 76,000 Bitcoin. Bitcoin and Ethereum, we've talked about this for a couple of years as well. That's the things you want. So everybody that's watching right now, please smash the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you like what we're talking about. Make sure you always have your pen, pad, and paper ready, because you never know what we're going to discuss. All right. In fact, EV Place, I want to ask you something. Have you actually been out to McCall Hills? Because all the projects are not showing anything. They all go dark now. McCall Hills came out and said, hey, we're doing this, where they showed the shack for security. And then the next thing you know, no video. Cruise on Land, January, they start showing videos. Now no videos. Larimar, started showing, oh, we're busting up rocks in December and January. Now no video. Everybody, 7 Palms. Oh, we're doing this. Now no videos. I'm like, wait. Whenever somebody does that from a developer standpoint, because showing the videos of your progress means sales. Whenever you stop showing videos, I know something's wrong. All right. That's not a good sign. So once again, this could be good and bad for DR. In fact, you know what? Every place that you want to invest in, you're going to need to start looking at it again. If you decided you wanted to do Dubai or Thailand or Costa Rica or Peru or Ecuador or whatever, Colombia, you need to revisit this because there's going to be less buyers, American and Canadian, going down to these countries. Those are the main buyers. So therefore, once there's less buyers, that means there's less sales. So now all of a sudden they're going to negotiate differently because there's not going to be enough to go around to eat. Just like real estate agents in America for the last 2 years, they've had to get new careers because there's not enough sales going around to have these thousands of realtors. That's what's been happening. So same thing's going to happen around the world in all of these so-called investment hotspots. And after they finish building some of these, there's going to have some units that people cannot buy. So you're going to have an opportunity once again to get the leftover. Right now, can you believe you can get a Panorama Luxury for around 99 or 109,000 right now for a studio or 1 bedroom? I don't know which one. I'm not a broker for them. They won't let me be a broker. They don't like it. Because when they jacked this in the Panorama Luxury, when they said they were going to have people sign up, we had people signed up and you're going to have your place and then you can bid, get your spot. And then they changed it last minute and told people 65% down. We were like, okay. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? You know, and now they didn't sell out. Now they're also under the gun. Less people are buying. Now they have units available and now they're trying to sell some units. And they lowered the price or had the prices almost the same as 3.5 years ago. So this is what's happening, right? When you're greedy and do dumb stuff, this is what happens. I'm not even sitting here acting like it's all good. 47 to 48. So are we talking about U of F has come back? The heart attack kids, #1 ranked. I can't believe it. Doesn't seem like a prototypical team. Duke was the prototypical team, but they choked. It happens. I remember in high school, we were ahead by same type of thing, 10 points, minute and a half to go. I don't remember our starting guard fouled out. I wasn't playing guard or off guard at the time. So, you know, the coach brought in our second team. All of a sudden, the second team, 1 turnover, the guys scored. We're up by 4 with like 30, 40 seconds left. So I'm thinking, okay, we'll get the next in and then we'll score. We'll do something. Wrong. Ball stolen. Same thing that happened to Duke. Now it's like 30 seconds left. We're up by 2. Nobody's really panicking. We still up by 2, but still, it's like, okay, we come down. We actually miss a shot. Then we foul and give them a 3-point play or some nonsense. They're up. We end up losing. It was over. We end up losing the hardware and everything because it was a championship tournament game. So it was crazy, but things happen. Even though you may be the better team, but you don't make the best choices when it's crunch time after doing all this hard work. Well, there you go. All right, here we go. Eric, I have a land title from Avalon. This phase 2 project will be delivered 2027, doubtful. My friend who is running a real estate company in DR, he has good experience with Avalon. No, they're not delivering in 2027 phase 2. They're not even going to deliver phase 1 in 2027. They haven't even started. Well, hold on. I haven't seen pictures in the last 5 months, but 5 months ago, they hadn't even started. So yeah, okay, they're going to build a few villas. This is true in the in the next year or two, yes, because villas you can actually build faster, especially their small units like what they have. But the full first phase, that will not be done in 2 years. I don't think. That's a pipe dream. And if you're saying you're in the second phase, that's really a pipe dream. If we're talking about Macau Hills, it's no joke because they don't. I mean, they have a pool, aren't they? They added a stable or horses or something weird. I'm like, really? You're gonna put horses out here? This is. Uh, I'm not a fan of horses, but reason I'm not a fan of horses is because there's manure and it smells. It's like, it smells like, a dude ranch. It smells. I mean, you know, uh, it smells. So I don't really like living where there's horses and an actual ranch style type stuff, like at Savannah, for instance. You got stables near people's backyards and stuff like that. I'm like, nah, man, that needs to be like 2 miles down. You know, I don't need it being nowhere near me. I don't like the smells. So, but that's just me. Some other people who like horses, I guess they don't care, but I'm not living. Basically, just like in the 1900s, not even 1900s, in the 17, 1800s, when people had their little buggy rides, the one things they don't show in our eras is that when the horses are laying down their waste, imagine there's 100 horses and a few of them are laying down their waste, you're stepping on them. Who's cleaning up that waste? Well, there was actually people that was street sweepers, street cleaners, picking up the waste, putting it in the baskets, getting it out the road. But because you couldn't just water down the road, it smelled. So that's why back in the day, you go to the city, it smelled like shit. This is what they don't put in the history books, right? But that's what was going on. So it's the same kind of thing. I don't want to be nowhere near a Duke ranch or horses and all that stuff, man. And that's kind of funny that Savannah has $600,000-$700,000 homes, and they're gonna have horses literally less than 100 feet away, 150 feet away from people's houses with stable. I mean, the stables, some of the stables and some of the areas that they're gonna have their horses. I'm just like, are you serious right now? There's no pasture there as far as I know. I'm like, no, that needs to be in the back 40. There is no back 40. All right, Brian P says yes. Okay. So it's a close game, man. It's going to be good. Well, I'm not going to be on here too much longer because, we got into the strategies. We started talking about uh, Dominican Republic. That's a long, hard subject for me. I was promoting them since 2020. And a lot of people were eating. Because remember, I wasn't even a broker. I didn't even care that people were seeing the videos and they were actually going there and finding a realtor, and the realtor's getting paid, and they're showing the videos and some of my reviews at a lot of offices. A lot of the developers were paying attention to what I was saying, giving people their ratings and all that. I didn't care. But then when they weren't doing things right after 3 years, 4 years, then it's like, wait, hold on, man. I can't be giving you guys love if you're going to act like dumbasses, right? So that's why I don't really want to talk about DR anymore. But when I do, I know so much about what's going on that it's hard to just sit idly by when you're sitting there going, why aren't you fixing their infrastructure? Why are you sitting there putting in the newspaper that you're going to have data centers? I'm like, you will never have data centers when your electricity is not even reliable. That's ridiculous right now. Oh yeah, they're going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a data center, and you don't have electricity that you can guarantee for a whole 6 months straight without it going out, and you have no sewer and water. Seriously, how are you going to be running data centers? This is just a pipe dream and a talk to market things, and then when rubber meets the road, it's happening right now because people are saying, well, I'm waiting 6 years for my delivery. What's happening? What's going on? So now people start questioning, and now you have thousands of people questioning, where's my stuff? You said it was going to be delivered in 2024. Here it is, 2025. Now you're saying it's going to be delivered in 2026. Now they don't have things good to say. So their friends, family, and curious people will say, yeah, man, I'm going to invest in a DR. I'm thinking about it. People are going to go, yeah, man, I invested in 2020. I'm still not delivering. So not getting a good reputation. That's not good. That's not good business. Okay, 53 to 53. Cool. I've never heard about horses or stables included. Yeah, I know, man. See, this is all stuff that happened like 2 years ago. You know where the pool area was going to be? They started putting renderings out that they were going to actually have like, they showed horses, like a trail or something. I'm like, why would you do that? That's crazy right there. I'm like, why? I thought you're going to make this nice community, and again, the community's suspect because once again, are they still going to have the hotel? They started saying we're not going to have the hotel there, and that was one of the good things was that they were going to have a hotel with a restaurant on site by up the way from the pool on the entrance, and that's where the shuttle was supposed to have a shuttle stop there for phase one, and then there's supposed to be shuttle stops for phase two, and I think there's a phase three on some parts of wherever it was. And that, but again, it was all planned. It wasn't actually in stone. It's all words. It wasn't written down. It was just, we're going to have this. It's going to be 600 yards away from the beach. And, you know, they had these things, but there was nothing that showed that it actually was going to. In other words, I'd be willing to bet you right now, do you see them building the Avalon Beach Club? Right? I'd be willing to, I mean, anybody got pictures? Seriously. 5:45 left in the first half, I trust. 53 to 53, 5:40. Yeah, it has, well, I don't know. In 5 minutes, you could score like, this might be second half. Uh-oh, this is coming down to the wire. I guess we're going to have to see it. All right. Now, let's get back to it. Discountlots.com is another investment strategy when the stock market does this. People are losing their minds, also don't want to buy land that gives you nothing in return. So this is why land starts being a little more valuable because now people are going to give them away. So look for that as well. Hold on a second. Let me give you something too. And I don't even think I've ever said it, quite frankly. Let me see. I get stuff from Trayzon all. Oh yeah, I can't even talk about the stuff in Phoenix. Those guys have lost their mind. People trying to sell 14, 25 places for $2 million. One, I mean, 25 unit apartment complexes, $2 million in Phoenix, Arizona and stuff. I'm like, man, you guys lost your mind. At one point, I almost sent them the thing saying, don't even contact me no more. But hey, you just never know when things will turn around. All right. Let me see. There's another one I'm missing beside Discount Lots. Let me see. Oasis. No, that's over by. Let's see here. Can't find it. Yeah, Derek. Yeah, Phoenix. 36 unit apartment, 5.2 million. Yeah, crazy stuff. But they're getting it though. Another 16 unit apartment, 2.5 million in Phoenix. See what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen? Crazy. Almost, what is that, 200,000 a door? I mean, this is crazy right now. I mean, this is absurd. 175,000 a door. I mean, some people would say that's a great deal. It might be, but I'm just saying, why take that? That's a risk. Let's see. I don't want to talk about those guys. I'm trying to see. There's somebody, I can't remember the name. I get stuff sent to me all the time. But oh well, I can't pull it up. We'll talk about it another day. Yeah. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to catch the end of the game. We'll see who's going to win this one. Let me know who you guys think is going to win, Houston or Gators. What do you guys think? Also, don't forget, you can't let up on the stock market. 500, what was it, 500 points down today in the Dow. Now it's red. The futures is up for tomorrow. 751, something must have been said. The only reason this would jump like this, 727 on the futures on the Dow, S&P 500 plus 78, and NASDAQ futures plus 254 points. This means somebody said something. That means somebody did something. What's happened? Somebody came out. Was it Jerome Powell talking about cuts? What happened? Was there somebody that said, oh, we're not going to do the whatever? Japan stocks jumped 5% as Asia Pacific markets open higher after previous sessions steep. Okay. So it's having a SMCI up +3 after hours. That means our SMCY for YieldMax ETF is going to go up. So that's going to be interesting. MSTR is down $25. That means MSTY, which dropped earlier today, made sense. That 18, I think you said, that made sense, right? That dropped big time today. So that's interesting. And there's nothing else, but I don't see anything here on why there would be a huge jump. Bitcoin briefly slides, like I said earlier, 74,000. That's a great move for MSTY, MicroStrategy, MSTR even, because MSTR is at 268, down $25, down 8% today. So once again, opportunity kind of knocks all the way around. So we will see what happens, but I don't understand. I don't understand what happened after hours. I don't see anything here that would dictate a run up. Oh, hey, Apple, ladies and gentlemen, are you seriously not getting some Apple? Come on now. Come on. Apple went down early morning and it's sitting at 181 right now. But earlier today, I couldn't believe what Apple was at. It was insane. When it first opened up, Apple was at 176, 177, something like that. Low 174 today. Not that it's the dividend, which is nothing, 0.55. It's the prices that you can get this at. Right now, Apple's at 181, which is insane. Insane. 52-week high is 260. And they're one of the richest cash-heavy companies on the planet. So they can maneuver. They can outmaneuver a lot of corporations. Just like NVIDIA is back up to 97. So all you guys, it was just 86 over the weekend. You had every opportunity to get 86, 87. And you would already be up 10%. This is what we're talking about. That's why you need to check it out. Houston could win. Oh yeah, Houston's good, man. Either team could win. That's the point. They're even. They're even. After Houston got past Duke, which Duke has all the weapons, they had tall guys, they had overmatched guys, they had short, they had speed, they had everything. They got past Duke, everybody should be scared at that point, because that just showed their versatility. So, and to come back last minute from the hustle also means they got some mojo going on. So both teams have mojo. So this is going to go down to the wire. All right, EV Place. I'm glad you were here. I'm glad everybody else was here. Thank you guys very much. I love you guys very much. But please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard. And this is why we have to keep working. You can't give up right now. You have to stay diligent because there's somebody who lost $300,000 this past. Their portfolio, $1 million, down to $720,000. You know the advice. If you got the money, buy more to get your dollar cost average down. So a 10% increase, and if it's part of the Dow, 720 points for the futures, tomorrow's going to be a nice run. Congratulations for everybody that was listening over the last 7 to 10 days, because that means you bought at the lower prices, which now means this boom, you're going to be in the positive and you're going to love it. So there you go. And EV Play says ETH is at 2-year low. You got to get some more ETH, ladies and gentlemen. Also, get some of that. That's where you want to be. You want to get when it's low, you buy. Don't be shy out there, even if it has to be a synthetic. Even if you're at Robinhood, Webull, or whatever, and they're doing the synthetic, at least get something in ETH. We've been saying this for 2 years. Bitcoin and ETH, that's what you should be best buying right now. EV Place, he says, thanks, Eric, stay cool. Thank you so much, EV Place. Thank you for talking about Macau Hill, because I think that's still an opportunity at $100,000, 105, 120, for even the 3-bedroom, 100, what was it, 115 now, I think it is. Even if it's that, that's still a great deal for being in Macau. And I also think that people can wait. You don't have to do pre-construction, in my opinion, because I don't think there's going to be enough buyers over the next year. That's what I think, because it costs more money to go to the DR now, to fly there. There's that Open Skies agreement did nothing because you need Dominican carriers to go to United States airports, and they cost a lot of money when you start saying, well, I'm going to go to Chicago, I'm going to go to Phoenix, I'm going to go to Vegas. Now all of a sudden you can't just go, okay, I'm just going to schedule 2 flights a week and expect to get passengers. So it's going to be a long road to hoe. And can you charge less when the airports in DR, they're some of the most expensive places in the world for the taxes landing at their airports. So there is no like $99 each way that they can do when the fees are like $90 and rising, because they said they're going to increase them. And then you got to pay a little $10. I mean, it's crazy what they got going on. So now they're stopping the tourism from coming in. It doesn't even make sense. But instead of giving the tourists the breaks, they're giving the tourism industry, the developers, the breaks with Pumpertour and tax cuts and tax breaks. It's insanity. So instead of getting the millions of people to come spend money on the island, they're going, we'll just let these guys, you guys keep the Comfortour offer, and you don't have to pay for your taxes and tax cuts and all this. I'm like, dudes, you're losing customers. It's not going to do you any good later. If you don't have customers, you don't have tourists, and your numbers are down, or they just stay at 8 million a year, now you're going to have an overload of product from all over the island. You're going to have, I don't even know how many extra units you're going to have, which is going to defeat the condo hotels are going to go bye-bye, wasted. The condos themselves, people are going to get rid of. It's going to be just like it's 2008, 2009 all over. It's crazy. But anyhow, we'll see what happens, see if I'm correct. But nonetheless, with all that said, make sure you guys stay safe out here. And again, I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support over all these years. And we'll be back on Wednesday night, 8:50 p.m. And make sure that you just stay safe out here, because you just never know what's going to happen. People are under stress, duress, and anything can happen. Anything can trigger people. I've seen some crazy stuff just the other day at the grocery store. It was pretty wild. Somebody was just acting weird, erratic. So you didn't know. They started yelling, screaming, talking, and I was like, hold up, something might happen. You know, you don't know. Nothing happened, luckily, but you just never know. So just make sure you watch your back, watch where you're going, watch your surroundings, right? And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out. Hey, wait a minute. That's not the ending, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now I'm out.